Recording. Okay, for those of you who've been wanting a show on fasting, we've got the best. That's going to help us, guide us, and give us some tips on how we can do a water fast. So fasten your seatbelt. We're going to learn and grow together. Okay, I see the start. Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who are new to the Lillian McDermott radio show, I've been waiting for you. I'm so glad that you're here. Please know that this is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friends, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, today, I am so excited because this is something I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and I received so many requests to do a show on water fasting. Well, we're in luck because Dr. Michael Klapper was realized early in his medical career that what he had learned in medical school just did not add up. If you tune in to the last show he was on, he shares about his background and what convicted him to change and view food as medicine as opposed to taking the pill. So now this awakening not only has helped him in answering all the questions that he had as far as health goes, now he's helping thousands. He's helped so many people be able to empower themselves and learn this new truth. Today, Dr. Michael Klapper is going to tell us about the benefits of this ancient healing power of fasting. And he will also teach us how to safely and effectively fast. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am so grateful that Dr. Michael Klapper is here to do just that. Welcome back, Dr. Klapper, to the Lillian McDermott radio show.
Thank you, Lillian. It's a lovely opportunity to be with you and your listeners. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Well, I am so excited. Share a little bit about your background and what led you to your passion to teach people how to heal with nutrition-based medicine.
Well, I received a standard medical education at the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Chicago. And for the first 10 years of my career, I practiced blood and guts, emergency room medicine, acute care medicine. And I thought I would be doing that the rest of my career. But when I went to become an anesthesiologist, I did most of a residency in anesthesia. I started feeling like a cog in the machine, just patients, next, but nobody's really talking to these patients about why they're on the operating table in the first place, especially when it came to the patients with clogged arteries. And it became very evident to me through a number of events that the atherosclerotic fatty guck in their arteries was largely the fat of the animals these people were eating and the injuries they were inflicting on their artery walls. And so I changed my diet. A 20-pound spare tire of fat melted off my waist. My cholesterol came down. My blood pressure came down. I felt great waking in a nice lean body every day. And so I realized that nutrition was important. My dad started showing signs of clogged arteries. I knew I was going to be laying on that operating table with that Stryker saw going up my chest. And all the way around, I realized nutrition was the most important determinant of whether you're going to have a healthy body or one that's all obese and clogged up and diseased. And so I left anesthesia, went back to general practice, and started doing a plant-based style of medicine. The type of diet that I changed to is completely plant-based. And that's what created this remarkable change in my body. So I started using those principles in my practice. And for the past 35 years, I've been taking my patients with obesity, clogged arteries, high blood pressure, diabetes, etc., and getting them on a whole food plant-based diet, take a good walk every day, and the same magic happens in their body. The obesity starts melting away, and the arteries open up, and the high blood pressure comes down, and the joints stop hurting, and the asthmatic lungs clear up, and the migraines go away, and they turn back into normal, healthy people who don't need all sorts of pills and potions and procedures. And so nutritional medicine is the most fun kind of practice to have for a physician, because my patients get healthier right in front of our eyes. So I'm the happiest doc I know. And for the past 8 years, I've been working at True North Health Center in Santa Rosa, California, which is a nutrition-based clinic. And people come in with all the standard diseases. We put them on a healthy diet, and the same wonderful changes happen. But in the 8 years I spent there, I learned how to employ water fasting as part of a program to give people a jump start towards a healthy diet and lifestyle. And I was very, very impressed with the therapeutic powers of fasting. And that's, I understand, going to be the topic of our discussion today.
Yes, and not only have you understand it, you're one of the pretty important experts in this industry, because it's so important that not only do we understand what water fasting is, but how we do it is important as well. And for those of you who would like to be a winner of the fasting DVD, please the 10th caller or texter 407-373-5959. 10th caller or texter 407-373-5959, and you will receive a free copy of the fasting DVD that we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to continue our conversation with Dr. Michael Klapper when we return worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. So Dr. Klapper, I was wondering, when you said the first 10 years of you practiced traditional medicine, and I'm sure you yourself experienced traditional medicine, and this is what we know. We know what we know. But if you could take yourself today and transport yourself back to when you were in medical school or during those 10 years, is there anything you would warn yourself about?
Oh, Lillian, what a question that is, because I'm devoting the rest of my career going around to medical schools, lecturing the students, saying, I'm going to give you the lecture I wish somebody had given me 50 years ago, that you're not going to be seeing leprosy and smallpox. You're going to learn about those, but that's not what you're going to be seeing. It's what your patients are eating. And before you order another $500 lab test and a $1,000 scan, stop, ask your patients what they ate yesterday. And if it's all full of burgers and buffalo wings, that's all you need to know. That's where to start. Send them to the plant-based dietitian down the hall and have her get them on a healthy program and see them back in a couple of weeks. That's what I wish someone had told me, and that's what I would have told myself back then. And that's what I'm devoting the rest of my career to delivering that message from this point on.
Do you think, though, that you're talking to students that are open to hear this? Because even with me, I learned this new truth towards my 50th year, like 47, 48 years old. And I've been on the mountaintop trying to explain to people what to do, but many times it just falls in deaf ears. The doctors that are treating us are eating the buffalo wings mostly.
Absolutely.
So if I am treating you and I'm eating buffalo wings, I'm not going to be looking for buffalo wings. So what are some of the questions that we can ask ourselves that will empower us to choose the right doctor for us?
Right. And what you describe is a very major obstacle. I have a slide in my presentation. Why don't doctors talk about nutrition? And we're not taught about it. We don't respect the subject, and they're eating it themselves. You're absolutely right. Those are the three big barriers. That's correct. However, the only way I'm able to make progress is the fact that it's 2018. And in every first, second, third year medical school class, there's now 20 or 30 medical students who've seen forks over knives. They've seen what the health, they've seen eating a lot. The cat's out of the bag. They know that it's nutrition is key. Yeah. And they say once you look behind the curtain, you can't pretend you don't know what's behind.
That's the curtain. Right. That's right.
And these kids know, and they're the ones I'm talking to, and that's that nucleus that I want to foster and have them ask your professors about them, bring them the studies. They need to educate their teachers, and that's the process that we're about.
That's great. And we also need to educate our doctors.
Amen.
And so, they say that the best way to change nutrition in the world is to start teaching children very, very young. I wonder if that's where you also need to go to next, which is the elementary schools. I hope. So here we go. We're
Absolutely.
about to get started. And
Okay.
so we're second segment, and we're going
All
to
right.
dive into the fast. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show, where we always learn from one another. Today's teacher is Dr. Michael Klapper. I'm so excited that today we're going to be talking about fasting, water fasting in particular. Be the 10th caller or texter at 407-373-5959 and get a free copy of Dr. Michael Klapper's DVD, which it will tell you just what you need to know about fasting. Okay, so Dr. Klapper, let's talk about what is considered a fast.
All right. Well, we're talking in the strictest sense about consuming water only for more than 24 hours, and usually 48 to 72 hours at a minimum constitutes a short water-only fast. And during my 8 years at True North Health Center, I supervised several thousand water fasts and became fairly fluent at learning how to do this. And I have such respect for the process. It harkens back to a million years ago, if you believe in evolution. Our ancient ancestors on the African savannas foraging for food. You could imagine that it might easily, frequently have been 4 or 5 days till you found the next berry bush with fruit on it.
Yeah.
And you just had to do these intermittent periods of 4 or 5 days with just water only. And our body, when it's in this condition, it shifts into this remarkable state. It knows that every calorie that's already on the body is precious, and it doesn't want to waste them in useless activities. So it doesn't want to burn these precious calories off as heat, so it turns off inflammatory reactions. If your body thinks it's dying of starvation, one of the complete wasteful things to do is use these precious calories to run a malignant tumor. And so the body turns off cancer growth during a water fast. It shifts into this remarkable state of conservation. Thyroid function dials down. You don't want to generate excess heat. And the body starts looking for things to burn in the metabolic furnace if no calories are coming in. So it goes into the cells, and any junk carbohydrates and old burned out proteins, it cleans them out. The process is called autophagy, and we eat up these wasted scrap proteins and carbohydrates. We clean ourselves on the inside during this state. It's a remarkable state, and anywhere between 3 to 5 days really is a wonderful tune-up, and it's a common practice now to do a 5-day water fast once a month to kind of recapitulate that ancient rhythm from the African savannas so long ago. But when we have patients with really severe problems, runaway high blood pressure, inflammatory diseases like lupus that are just eating up their tissues, these folks do these long water fasts. We're talking 2, 3, 4 weeks, up to 5.5 weeks, 40 days, as long as we will fast someone on water. And I've supervised quite a number of 40-day fasts, and it's a profound experience, which we can go into, but that's a long fast. So a short one is just 1 to 3 days on water. A 5-day fast is a good tune-up for most everybody. But if you have a real official medical problem you want to get help with, and a water fast might help, you need to be supervised for that. You don't do a long fast.
So let's
place like True North.
I'm glad that you talked about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some disclaimers here. Who should not fast? Who should fast?
Indeed, there's a list of folks who really should not run their body on water only. Obviously, children. I won't fast any child under 18 years of age. Pregnant women do not fast. Folks with type 1 diabetes should not be fasting. Patients with advanced cancers that are just wasting away and don't have much meat on their bones at all, they really shouldn't be doing a water fast, or a very judicious one. And I'm hesitant to fast folks with neuromuscular wasting diseases. If you've got ALS or muscular dystrophy, a water fast really depletes your muscle strength in healthy people. I don't want to deplete the muscle strength of someone who's already got muscular dysfunction. And finally, people with renal, with kidney failure, they really can't do a fast safely. So if you're on that list, then these folks don't do a water fast. What they do, however, will be a juice cleanse. And 4 or 5 days on green vegetable juices is a wonderful thing to do. You don't go into the state of ketosis. It's not quite as severe as a water fast, but it's a wonderful thing to just flood your tissues with all the phytonutrients in these wonderful vegetable juices. So if you can't do a water cleanse, a water fast, not all is not lost. You can do a juice cleanse that you can do at home, but again, they're vegetable juices, not fruit juices.
Okay. And okay, so I've got a follow up for that one, because you
Okay.
said that, and maybe you answered it with the juice fast versus a water fast. So you said that cancer, when you're doing a water fast, it dials down that's what I thought I heard you say, it dials it down, but then you saying that people with cancer should not do a water fast.
Right.
So
Thank you.
how does that work?
Yes. Folks in the early stages or in the middle stages of cancer, we've had, I personally witnessed 2 patients with malignant lymphomas had their tumors just melt away on a water fast. Very impressive. And cancer patients certainly can benefit from fasting. The ones who really shouldn't are the ones who are end stage. They're down to 80 pounds. They're just skeletal. These folks shouldn't be doing a long water fast. But short of that, absolutely, fasting can be very helpful for folks with cancers. Absolutely.
Okay. And so you took away some of this, like the juicing. You're talking about juicing with vegetables, raw vegetables,
Yes.
and so when you're juicing, it's not like a smoothie. So a smoothie
Correct.
has the fiber and everything that's in there. So the juicing just goes into the bloodstream, basically.
Yes, basically. Now you made an interesting point. Actually, a smoothie, you get the benefits of the phytonutrients that are still attached to the fiber. And for folks who can't chew or whatever, yes, blend your vegetables and do a smoothie rather than juicing.
Okay.
But here we're talking about a different outcome altogether. Here we're trying to just bathe the tissue with these phytonutrients. But there's always going to be some glucose, some sugar in the vegetable juices, so you don't go into this state of ketosis. And that's why if your listeners catch the difference, I'm talking about a water fast versus a juice cleanse. Okay. I don't really use the term juice fast because it's not really a fast. It's a 600-calorie liquid diet. These folks don't go into ketosis. It's a liquid diet, but it's a wonderful phytonutrient, antioxidant-rich mixture. You're bathing your tissues with it. To do that for 4 or 5 days in a row is a wonderful thing, but it's a cleanse, not a fast.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad that you were specific on that one. So we're talking about a water fast, and we've talked on the show before. You and I have talked as well about the importance of nutrition, good nutrition, organic. But here we are drinking water, putting water in our body that has been tainted. It has chlorine, it has fluoride, it has all these things. Now, when we're doing a water fast, is there a particular water that we should have?
Yes, we're at True North. We got 2 30-gallon water distillers, and we use distilled water only. And during a water fast, yes, I would just drink distilled water. It's really hard to trust tap water these days. So yes, I would use distilled water.
So does distilled water not have any fluoride or any?
Right, exactly. No, you want the water as clean as possible, and you will not take minerals out of your body. Use the distilled water.
Very good. And so what about reverse osmosis? Is that the same as distilled?
Reverse osmosis, that'll give you pretty good water too. Our old water would be fine.
Okay. Absolutely. Is there any water that you should not use for a water fast? Like tap water, perhaps?
Yeah, unless you feel really good about what's in it, I would use either highly filtered water or distilled water.
Okay. Now, with that in mind, how much water do we consume in a day? Because
Right.
normally we know that we drink like half our body weight in ounces of water. That's what the formula for most people, but some people say, no, that's not true. So what is your philosophy on that?
Right.
What you've learned, not your philosophy.
Right. True north of the general guidelines, we're talking about tall glasses of water, 16-ounce glasses of water, four to six of those a day. So you're talking around 64 ounces of water. But everybody's different, and your body, when you burn off fat tissue, you generate water. There's water locked into fat tissue, and that's liberated as you burn down your fat tissues. So-called metabolic water is generated. So if some folks don't drink a lot of liquid water, they're making it on the inside themselves. So basically, we say during the fast, listen to your thirst plus one more glass. Okay, don't get thirsty. Just keep drinking and a little bit more. Yeah, because everybody is different.
Okay, so as we start the cleanse, we start doing, let me do the prep work first, because I'm always thinking that it's not just the fast, it's what happens before and what happens afterwards as well. So let's talk
Absolutely.
about preparing the mindset for a water fast.
Indeed. Before the mindset, let's talk about preparing the intestinal tract.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
very important. You do not want to go into a 5-day water fast or longer with a bunch of animal flesh and white bread sitting in your intestinal tract. It'll turn into a brick during the fast. And so, True North, the rule was before you do a water fast, at a minimum 3 days, fruits and vegetables only. No baked goods, no flour products, and only things from the plant kingdom in their whole form. So rice and beans and fruits and vegetables only for at least 3 days, preferably 5 or longer before the water fast. As far as preparing your headspace, it's a special sacred time for yourself. You're kind of putting up the sign. World, I'm taking this time for myself. I'll see you back here in 5 days. But this is not, you're not going to be running errands. You're not going to be doing lots of stressful work. You're going to be home. You don't have to lay in bed. Now you can do a little yoga, a little stretching, but that's it. No aerobics, and the less interaction with the outside world, the better. You want to fast from everything, including stress. And so let the people know what you're doing. And it's a time to catch up on your reading, catch up on your meditation. It's a time to pull in and let the body cleanse itself on the inside. And so do what you need to do to get your outside demands minimized.
As you were saying that, I always think of they're called, you're talking about a little vacation. And when people stay home, it's a staycation, but
Mm-hmm.
this is a fast station.
Oh, very good. Very
Something
good.
like you're at home, but it's more than a staycation. It's a fastcation.
Very good.
It's a time where we get to focus on our spirituality as well. Do things happen to us
Oh,
as we go
absolutely.
through this? Okay.
Oh, our brain chemistry changes. Boy, when we do rounds at the clinic, you walk into the room as someone on day 30 of a water fast. You can feel it in the room. Usually the candles are going, the soft music is playing. Good morning, doctor. How are you? Yes, I'm feeling fine. Thank you. And you can tell their brain is just teeming with dopamine and all these wonderful neurotransmitters. It really changes on many levels. And that's why you want to allow that to happen. You don't want to be answering emails and on the phone and dealing with your stockbroker. This is a time for you to let your body recompose itself in a stable, less stressful way to live.
Very good. Very good. So I am just so intrigued. I'm going to do this, and I hope that people will join me. My listeners, my followers will join me. Be the 10th caller or texter, 407-373-5959, and get your free copy of the fasting DVD by Dr. Michael Klapper. And we're going to continue our conversation when we return worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Wow, wow, wow. So that is so thorough. I love how it's like I was almost there as you were talking about the expectation. What is this? This is really us loving our body.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We keep ourselves in the constantly fed state. We're eating all the time, And that's not natural. That's not normal. The other animals usually don't do that. And this is time to let that system finally have a rest. It's our digestive system, the one system. Even if you have a big dinner, you may be sleeping, but your digestive system is working all night, trying to deal with that big dinner that you ate. This is a time to let that system rest as well. And because the digestive system is intimately connected to the nervous system, it's a profound rest on a cellular level. It's a remarkable state.
Wow. I don't know. I'm trying to make space for this at the beginning of the year. That's what I'm thinking, that towards
Right.
the beginning of the year, I want to love my body with this, schedule no time, nothing, where I just get to spend time with myself.
Yay.
Have you been able to do fasts yourself?
Oh, yes. We've
And
done
what's the longest? What's the longest you've gone?
Right. I've gone 10 days.
10 days.
Yes. And we definitely should talk about your listeners, how to actually do this. Don't you just start with a 1 or 2 day, don't just plunge right into it. In 5 days,
Oh.
you want to do at home. And people should just tiptoe into this unless they're experienced fasters already.
Okay. And,
yeah.
and, I do want to talk about intermittent fasting as well, because, Dr. Joe Furman talks about intermittent fasting, every day, like when you go to bed at night, not eating. And I also want to talk about the energy that digestion takes in the body as well. So all of that, when we come back, I think that we're about to get started,
Okay.
Dr. Klapper.
Right.
I just absolutely, I'm so committed to doing this. And I want us to learn your experience, if you don't mind sharing on the air. So right now, before we go back, I'm going to talk a little bit about the show and and then, I'll reintroduce you as well. Okay.
Sounds good.
And it looks like we're ready to get started. Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show, where we always learn from one another. Today's teacher is Dr. Michael Klapper, and we are talking about fasting. Fasting, his DVD on fasting is phenomenal. I watched it with my husband, and I'm going to speak for myself. I am committed to doing this, and I will let you know when I'm going to start, and Dr. Klapper is going to share a little bit about how we are to start, and the first timers. So for us first timers, there's going to be like a little quickie that we're going to do. But for now, just know that this is where on the Lillian McDermott radio show, which by the way is heard worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com, this is where we take 100% responsibility for our life. That includes our health. That includes our careers, our finances. That includes our mind, body, spirit, our relationships, and giving back into the world. All of those, that's what you will hear shows about. There's no talk of politics, no talk of sports. And I know that there are other people who do that well. But for this hour with us, we're going to focus on healthy living and eating, being happy within and outside of ourselves. And so go to whenyouneedafriend.com if you want to join this movement of taking 100% responsibility and owning our life. So when you're at whenyouneedafriend.com, you will get some free gifts. You'll get my 90-day challenge to self-love ebook, and you can do that while you're fasting, it sounds like to me. And also, check out all my social media. Please follow me on all my social media. Like me as well, but follow me. That's the important thing. And then you can subscribe to whenyouneedafriend.com. And while you're there, also subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you do that, the audio of the show or the YouTube of the show goes right to your email, and you can watch it at any time, because some of the things that we talk about, we just can't write it fast enough because there's so much to learn. So go to whenyouneedafriend.com and subscribe. And while you're there, make sure you turn to my sponsors page. Without my sponsors, there would be no show. So please support my sponsors the way they are supporting the show today. And for those of you who can't get enough of the show, you can go to podcasts. I'm on iTunes, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, all those wonderful places where you can just listen at any time, any topic that you would want. And finally, be the 10th caller or texter, 407-373-5959, and be the winner of the fasting DVD. Now, Dr. Michael Klapper, you are waking up early to do the show. I am so grateful for you and for sharing this information. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. I'd like to remind your listeners, if you don't get the free DVD today, you can go to my website, drklapper.com, DOCTORKLAPER.com, and click on the videos. You can watch the fasting video there. There's a small rental fee for that.
Absolutely. Dr. Michael Klapper. So it's drklapper.com. That's DOCTORKLAPER.com. A lot of people think there's two P's in your name, by the way.
Yes, there is
Only one
P.
P.
Klapper. Yes.
Okay. So, Dr. Klapper, I asked you during the break
yes.
what to experience. You've said that you've fasted as long as 10 days, but you reminded me that as a newbie, I should only start dipping my toe. Let's talk about that.
Yes, this is a remarkable state people are entering into to do a fast. And we're talking about building up to where you can comfortably do 5 days on water only at home. But some folks just do 1 day, and then a week or two later do 2 days and see how you do with that. And just slowly build up till you finally get to 5 days, understanding that the first and second days are the worst. That's when you're hungry and you're a little irritable, you're wondering what you're doing. By day 3 on a water fast, hunger pretty much goes. As you enter the state of ketosis, one of the things that these ketone molecules do is they suppress your appetite. It's God's gift to fasters. You don't spend 5 days hungry. So push through those first day or two of the hunger pangs. You wake up on day 3 or 4. Most folks, not everybody, most folks say, "Hey, I'm not even hungry anymore," and you feel really good. You got lots of energy. It's a remarkable state. So that's why pushing on to that 5 days is a worthwhile goal. But you may have to build up that slowly, especially if you have some health challenges or a bit elderly or infirm. So start with just a 1 day fast, 2 days, 3 days, and slowly build up to it. Now, you also mentioned intermittent fasting, and this is a practice where breakfast is put off until noon. In other words, we fast all night while we're sleeping, right? That's why first meal of the day is called break fast, because we break our nighttime fast. Well, good things are starting to happen in your body while you're sleeping. You're already shifting into this cleansing conservation gear. So Dr. Longo and others are now telling us, listen, when you wake up in the morning, just because the sun came up, you don't have to run down and shove a bunch of sugar in your mouth. Keep that fasting state going all morning. Put breakfast off till noon, so you extend another 6 hours of fasting state in the morning. Do your eating from noon to 6 in the evening. And after 6 in the evening, 7, be done with food. And so you enter the fasting state again. So this is, people are calling it intermittent fasting. It's really, quite properly, time-restricted feeding is what it really is, TRF. This is time-restricted feeding. And it opens up that fasting time window to about 18 hours a day and narrows the feeding down to 6 hours. So that's time-restricted feeding. Versus intermittent fasting, which is to do a fast like once a month, to do a fast like we're talking about. These repeated short fasts is intermittent fasting, and that's a wonderful thing to do. As I said, it recapitulates that ancient rhythm of when we used to go 4 or 5 days without food and clean ourselves out. It kind of recapitulates that. So there's variations on the theme. Anytime we don't eat, it's a good thing. The truth of it is.
And that's what I've been, as I'm listening to you speak, I mean, was there a time where we didn't even have to eat? I mean, who created food? I mean, sounds like to me the body does better when we don't eat.
For a while, but the laws of physics are such. We're burning calories. You got to take them in. We don't, otherwise you wind up digesting your own muscles there. So no, we do need some calories, but this is the age of too much. We're constantly eating, and it's not a good thing, and it ages us to be constantly digesting food. But we need to give ourselves a break. You don't want to be exercising all the time. You don't want to be eating all the time either.
Okay, so with that in mind, you've gone through many fasts. Mm-hmm. And so take us, what was your experience? Because you eat very well. Mm-hmm. You're vegan and you eat very well. Mm-hmm. And so what did you experience when you went through your first fast?
Okay. So our first fast, I did a 7-day fast when I was on the staff at True North. Dr. Goldhammer said everybody on the staff once a year should do your own fast. So I got a room just like the other clients at the clinic. And my wife and I both did 7-day water fast. And we use, so you sip water and that works, but I'm a big fan of carbonated water. I like sparkling water, and that's absolutely legitimate. And I think it distends your tummy a little bit. I didn't feel much in the way of hunger at all, and I think the carbonated water helped with that. So I just kept on, anytime I got a little hunger pang or two, I just had another glass of water. And by day 3, well, I can't say, I'm a lean guy, and like many lean folks, I was hungry till about day 4. But boy, I have to admit it. But day 5, I woke up feeling great. I was not hungry. I felt I could fast for a month. And the following 5 days were just wonderful. I felt energetic and bright and clear and not hungry at all. And then finally, I had to get back to work. So on day 9, I started drinking. I broke it with some watermelon celery juice. And oh, it was ambrosia from the gods. That first swallow, you put it in your mouth, my tongue was swimming. It was ecstasy. It was wonderful. And it really increases your appreciation for food. Seriously, it really does that. And the watermelon chunks, each one was a gift from heaven. And the soups and the salads and the steamed vegetables, each one of them, the level of appreciation really increases after a water fast. And now I don't know if I will do another 10-day fast, but these 5-day fasts, I felt so great by day 5. It definitely worth doing. Every couple of months we do 5-day water fasts.
Wow.
And it's a wonderful thing to do. And if you're healthy, you can do 5 days at home, and that's as much as anybody should do safely at home. Beyond 5 days, if you've got high blood pressure, lupus, or something that you've got to do a long fast for, get yourself up to True North or some other clinic where they supervise water fast, because things can happen. You can start becoming nauseated.
Yeah.
You may get lightheaded. You may get headachy. People get unsteady on their feet as the fast progresses. You don't want to be alone in your apartment somewhere with those kind of things. So 5 days, if you're healthy, is as far as you want to go. And that's all you really need to do.
Yeah, well, it sounds like to me that you were feeling so good on your 5th day. Why would I want to stop? It almost, so with you, because you're so lean and you felt so good on the 5th day, you were able to go 10 days. Now, on the 10th day, did you want to go back to eating? How did you?
No, eating was a bring down. Truth of it is, I could have gone longer, but I just had to get back to work. And which is a point. People think, oh, I'm going to keep doing, I'm a carpenter, I'm a roofer, I'm going to keep working. No, you're not. Because going up the stair, by day 9, I was already feeling my legs were getting a little, you burn down your muscle glycogen, and long fast can turn you into a dish rag. Another reason, musculoskeletal wise, which is why you don't want to do this on your own.
Okay.
So I was starting to feel it. This is not a trivial thing to be doing.
Okay. So be the 10th caller or texter. If you want to fast with me, beginning of the year, we're going to do this together. Call 407-373-5959. 10th caller or texter, 407-373-5959. And we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here. Okay, Dr. Klapper, you're really getting me excited because this is something that I believe my body is asking me to do. Mm-hmm. Now, I am 5'6", I weigh 120, between 117 to 120. That's my weight. Mm-hmm. What, with people that you've seen that are kind of like my body type, what have you seen them experience? Not that my experience is going to be the same as theirs, but do they normally go longer? Because I want to feel good, and I want to stay that. I want to feel that goodness.
Right. Thank you for asking, because that's a really important question. The folks who do the best are the bigger, heavier set folks. They got more
they got more fat to burn.
Exactly. The truth of it is, the leaner, lighter folks like you and me, that we often have the more unpleasant experiences. Everybody's different. From one person to another, they have 2 different experiences, and the individual person, every fast in the same person is a different experience. So it's really hard to generalize. That said, generalizing, the folks who have the tougher, who get lightheaded quicker, who get the who feel the muscle weakens quicker, whatever. It is the lean, light women usually who run into the problem. And we're talking, say, like 1 out of 5 will run into that. 4 out of 5 women, even at your size and configuration, do great. But 1 out of 5, doc, boy, I did not enjoy that. I was headache, lightheaded. I felt terrible. Yeah, like Professor Forrest Gump says, every fast is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. And so the only way to do it is just do it. But again, so give yourself plenty of inside space there. Don't ask your body to do a whole lot during that time.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm enjoying more is just the quiet and the not doing anything, not leaving the house. I'm wondering if that's what's more appealing to me. And the spirit. Now let's talk about the spiritual aspect. I think we're ready to get started. And we're going into our 4th segment, Dr. Klapper. And you're like a 5th day of a fast. I want more.
Very good. Thank you. I compliment. I appreciate that.
You get it. You understand what I mean when I say you're the 5th day of a fast. Okay.
All right.
So here we go. We're going to get started really quickly. Okay, welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show, where I'm just absolutely loving my time with Dr. Klapper, and I hope you are too. Be the 10th caller or texter, 407-373-5959, and win your free copy of Fasting, Safe and Effective Use of Ancient Powerful Healing Therapy. For those of you who are not the 10th caller or texter, you can go to drklapper.com, and you can view the video there, and that's DocKlapper.com. Or you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com and you can just click on my blog. If you were a subscriber, you already have his link anyway. So just click on his name and it'll take you directly to his website. And I'm telling you, I don't know how long this video is. I think it was like 45 minutes. I'm not sure, but it's very, very informative. It made me even more excited to do this fasting. So Dr. Klapper, I just so appreciate you and your open and honesty about yourself and how you were feeling during that time. During the break, for those of you, we talked about the expectations for women that are smaller or men that are smaller as far as leaner than people that are heavier. Now, I have a question that I want to follow up on that. So for you guys can go to whenyouneedafriend.com, check out the YouTube channel. Okay. My question to you, is it possibly that when we're leaner, go through a detox quicker?
Absolutely. And I've got folks who are lean, healthy folks, and they're completely plant-based in their diet, and they want to do these fast. I say, why do you want to do it? Really, if you're already healthy and living a really good life there, often you just set yourself up for some stress that you don't really need to do. The fasting is a medical procedure for people with high blood pressure and diabetes, etc. That's its real therapeutic use. For just a little clean out fast, 5 days is as much as you need to do. And so don't think, oh, I'm going to do a 20-day fast because I need. No, you don't. If you're eating a whole food plant-based diet, and not smoking and doing all those terrible things, you don't need to do these long fasts. So work up to a 5-day fast. That's basically enough. And yes, it's the lean, light, usually women who run into the muscle weakness and the headaches and lightheadedness quicker. There's about 1 out of 5 women who they don't have a great experience in the fast, and they shouldn't really have to do it again. Or they should just do a juice cleanse. I'll do a weekend on vegetable juices. That's a lovely thing to do. And you don't have to put yourself through the water fasting ordeal. It's the daily food stream that really makes the difference. It's meal after meal of whole plant foods. That's what creates a lean body. It's not 5 days on water. 5 days on water is just a little jumpstart tune-up, but it's the food you eat every day that's the most important focus of your life.
That's good to know. I tell you what, when I did a 7-day juice fast, and we also did coffee enemas during that time. Was it a coffee enema? No, there were enemas. I don't think there were coffee enemas. I don't think there was, but it was. We did enemas for some reason. That rings a bell. I loved it. I was doing it with, I actually did a show with this, and I asked 2 guys to do the fast with me, and we were going to report on it on the show. They did not stick with it. They had to drink their beer and they had to have their chicken wings. I, on the other hand, went through and did the 7 days. And so there's something that happens to the body when we free it of the food trap that we fall ourselves into. Did you experience, because I feel like I experienced a little bit more clarity of mind, did you experience some clarity? Did you also experience awareness that you may have not had prior to?
Oh, absolutely. By the morning of day 9, I did, at True North, you get checked on twice a day, and I didn't even want that door to open to have anybody come into to my space. I was in a really blissful, peaceful, steady state there, and not everybody experiences that, and depends if you're thinking about the hunger. It can be a bit distracting. As I said, most people aren't hungry after day 4 or 5. You really don't have much in the way of hunger. So yes, I can't say that the meaning of the entire universe crystallized and I had the answer to existence, but it felt good to be in a human body. It felt good to be in a clear state of mind, and it was just a big thumbs up wink from the universe saying, this is what existence is about. And I was very grateful for that.
Wow. Wow. Okay. For those of you who are like me, wanting to start a fast pretty soon, I'm going to announce when I'm going to do the fast. So stay tuned. But fasting DVD, we're going to be giving one away. It's called Fasting, a Safe and Effective Use of an Ancient, Powerful Healing Therapy. For those of you who are interested, be the 10th caller or texter, 407-373-5959. So Dr. Klapper, we talked about the mentality. We talked about when it comes to doing this fast, how much water to drink. Is there anything that we're missing out on that you would like to that is important for us to know?
Sure. When you break the fast,
Okay.
this is you've been drinking just water, and you got to add a little bit of calories, so it works fine to do either watermelon chunks or watermelon juice diluted out. And then we gradually increase the fiber. So from regular folks, we go from watermelon juice to watermelon chunks, and then some fruit, grapes, etc., or melon chunks, and then move on to steamed vegetables, and then soups, and then eventually on to raw vegetables that are higher in fiber. Those folks with diabetes or autoimmune diseases or intestinal diseases, we don't want to break that fast with a lot of sugar, and so we do the non-sugary refeed. We do vegetable broth, and then blended squash, and then boiled zucchini chunks, and then right up into well-steamed vegetables, sloppy, wet, charred, things like that, and vegetable soups. And again, slowly increasing the fiber content. So easy does it. Your intestines haven't seen any solid fiber for 5 days. Don't put down and don't break it with tofu lasagna. Easy does it. And the high water content foods to come out of the fast. And the same thing with your physical activity. Easy, just take a nice walk and start. Don't plan to go to the gym with
Marathon.
your children. Do a heavy workout right after a 5-day water fast. Easy does it as you re-enter.
Okay, why watermelon? I wanted to ask why
Right.
watermelon? Of all the
Yeah.
fruit, why watermelon?
It's mostly water, and
Ah,
they basically just chunks of water with a little bit of fiber, a little bit of sugar, and that's exactly what you want to break your fast with.
very good. Okay, so the watermelon, because I remember listening, watching your video, and you said that you want to just gently, like 1 or 2 days. So even though you're doing a 5-day fast or whatever at home, if you're doing it at home 5 days, but an extra 2 days is to kind of like to have the fruit juices and the zucchini, and then going and how long will it take before you to
Right.
increase the soups, and when do you introduce like the raw?
Right. Take a good 3 or 4 days to re-enter back into your normal eating style, which hopefully will be a healthier one than the one that you had before you did the fast. But it's just, when you're at the stoplight and it turns green, you don't slam the accelerator to the floor and screech tired. Same thing with your digestive system. Easy does it. You've just been drinking water for 5 days. Slowly increase the amount of fiber in the diet day after day. So watermelon chunks, fruit, steamed veggies, soups. Easy does it. Add more and more fiber gradually.
Very good, very good. Any indication that it is time to stop your fast.
Indeed. You get lightheaded when you stand up. You get nausea where you feel like you might want to vomit, or you get a bad headache from low blood sugar. Those are the three questions we ask when we make rounds every morning. Any headache, any nausea, any lightheadedness. A little background headache is common, a little background nausea is common. But if you feel like you're about to throw up or you got a splitting headache, it's time for some watermelon and some juice and break the fast at that point. So, so lightheadedness, headache, and nausea are the three concerns.
Okay, well that is, and so I am really excited to do this with you, Dr. Klapper. I'm gonna and hopefully
do it together. Let me know when you're going to do it.
Oh, you're gonna do it. When is your year up? You said you do it once a year.
Well, I'll be glad to supervise you. I supervise people under special conditions, and you would certainly qualify.
Wonderful.
So let me know when you're about to start your fast, and we'll check in with you.
We'll do a webinar. We'll do a webinar fast. How about that? That way you can come on and help us all. Yay! Thank you, Dr. Klaper, for being on the Lillian McDermott radio show. I look forward to our next time that we're together. Please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Good job, Dr. Klapper. Really good. I would love to do that, Dr. Klapper.
Sure.
So people can join us on Zoom. And on this webinar, when we maybe we can do a Facebook Live. We'll do it maybe at a different time so that people can join us and maybe announce the fast. So I would love that. So
yeah, we could do like just a 5-minute check-in once a day. Just that's how you doing? Any headache? Any nausea? How you feeling? And just talk about it. And we have to drag it out there, but 5 or 10-minute check-in during the 5 days would be just great. So let's do it.
Check in with Dr. Klapper.
Absolutely.
And for those of you who want to be a part of that, email me at lily@whenyounneedafriend.com. Tell them we're going to do the fast. We're going to be in on it. I'm thinking, Dr. Klapper, that we're going to do this at the beginning of the year because I don't want to limit myself. We're at the holiday season.
Yeah, get through the holidays.
I'm going to get through the holidays.
People are more motivated.
The new year. I'll have Ashley reach out to you. Maybe we can coordinate and set some parameters for everybody. And for those of you who want to join me, again, lily@whenyounneedafriend.com. Be the 10th caller or texter. I hope that you have been a part of this, and let's heal together. I'm curious, with all the diseases that are out there. You talked about lupus. You talked about you shouldn't really do a fast if you have all these things. But will it kill bacteria in your body? Does it kill candida? Does it kill? I mean, or bring it to a normal level? Not kill it, but and candida overgrowth. I mean, what are some of the other benefits that we?
As far as I didn't want to give the wrong impression. If you have lupus, where you should do a fast. Fasting works great for autoimmune diseases. It really
yes.
Inflamed joint, etc. No, that's definitely an indication, a contraindication. Your question was about
the candida and
the candida,
does it bring balance with all the bad bacteria that's pooping in your body? Right.
We're right at the beginning, early primitive. So suddenly we realize this ancient therapy has been under our noses all along. It is a very powerful modality, but we really don't know much about it. So now the early studies are starting to be done on fasting. In fact, at True North, they're starting to do one. And every 3 days, they're going to take a stool specimen to see what does happen to the microbiome during a water fast. We really don't know what does happen. And so that's a very important question that you ask, and the research is being done now to answer because we're not really sure what happens. It might we assume the microbiome is healthier, but we don't really know, and so we're going to find out.
Well, they are doing these fecal microbiota transplantation.
Yep.
And I asked the question to Dr. Perlmutter, how do they know that the fecal matter from the person that is giving it is any better than your own? How do they test things like that? I mean, they've been doing this transplantation, the fecal transplantation, to help with autism, to help with bringing healthy balance, but there really isn't a lot that they do with the donor.
Yeah, they want to make sure there are not any bad, you want to give someone typhoid or, some E. coli infection. But you're right. This is a very early, primitive, feeling your way in the dark kind of time in the research, and a lot more studies need to be done.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm telling you what, I'm looking forward to actually reaching out and scheduling this with you because
Okay,
I'm really excited. Thank you so much, Dr.
you're so
Klapper, for being
welcome.
on the show. For those of you who've watched to the end, please give us a thumbs up, share this video, help the show grow. Until we see each other again. Thank you, Dr. Klapper.
Okay, Lillian, have a
Okay.
great day. Make it best day ever.
Oh, yes. Let's
Okay.
take care.